First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler taking a live look there at our Portland camera there, the Shriners cam looking over downtown Portland with all of that heavy rain. It's not really heavy rain, but it's drizzling. It's more than we've seen in a long time. So looking at that there, and that makes me think that's good video game weather. But we appreciate you joining us, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching afterward. Thank you for doing so. You can find it at kptv.com, the Fox 12 Oregon app, or YouTube, or any number of places. So we just appreciate you being here, and we cover a wide range of topics on here, but right now we are talking serious news about Donkey Kong. So the Ground Kontrol Retro Arcade in downtown Portland, a staple down there for a long time. We're going to end up talking to Dylan Snow from Ground Kontrol during this whole segment. But first, we're going to focus on a record-breaking attempt that is to come sometime soon. And I'm talking about Donkey Kong, and it's seeking out the fastest kill screen time. We will explain what the kill screen time is, what that means. Well, I won't, but our guest will, Jake Mortinson, who is our gamer that we're going to be discussing this with. This came to our attention when Ground Kontrol posted something on Facebook saying that Jake had achieved the 5th fastest kill screen time while at Ground Kontrol. It turns out that may have been even higher up the list, but his goal is to break the record. So we had to find out more. We went out there to Ground Kontrol. We interviewed Jake. Let's play this part first. We met him at his console there. So it's in Ground Kontrol. You know, it's an arcade. It's kind of dark in there, but you can certainly see him. I'm back in the shadows while we talk to the star there next to his game. It is Jake here on Fox 12 Now. Well, Jake, you know, I saw the post on Ground Kontrol talking about you breaking this record or getting, placing really high in this record in Donkey Kong. I had to come out and find out more about this. So can you tell me about the record itself to explain that, because I got to be honest, I think some people might not understand what a kill screen is.
Yeah, so a kill screen is the 117th board in the game, so first board of level 22, and it actually happens through a mathematical error. The timer rolls over at 256. The way it calculates time comes out to 260, so it only gives you 4 seconds to complete it, therefore being impossible to do it, so it's the definitive end of the game. Not supposed to be there, but we're all very glad it's there in the community.
So that is it. You cannot get past that level. So that's the top one that people can get to. No. And what you did was the 5th, or I hear it may be the 4th fastest time to reach the kill screen.
Yeah, so right now I'm in the process of trying to get it verified. Is actually the 3rd fastest through who people have verified it. There is a guy who I watched on Twitch do one in 1 hour 14 seconds. So 1 hour 14 minutes. So I consider him to be the 2nd place, even though he didn't register it, but that would put me at 4th overall, theoretically, in my believed opinion of where the kill screen.
And what was the time?
It was 1 hour 19 minutes and 12 seconds.
So 1 hour 19 minutes 12 seconds. So let's go backward here a little bit.
Yeah.
So for you playing Donkey Kong, obviously that takes some skill and practice to get there. Yes. When did you first start playing this game?
It was May 15th of 2022 that I first started grinding it. First time I played it was in my childhood, definitely. So I had periods throughout there I played the game and knew I was a little bit good at it. It wasn't until I was on a date here back on 2 years ago, there was a high score on the machine in the front room that was like 80,000, 84,000 or something, which would have broken my best at the time. And I was like, I think I can, let me see if I can get this. And I got it on my first try. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see how good I can get at this game.
Okay, wait a minute. Did you say you were on a date and you decided to try to break a Donkey Kong record?
Yeah, it wasn't our first time at an arcade, so she knew that I was competitive.
This wasn't a first date.
No. Yeah.
All right. So you were able to break that score, which is a different kind of record.
Yeah, that's just high score.
That's just high score.
And that wasn't even a kill screen or anything. That was long before I had even dreamt of getting a kill screen.
But you have that date memorized of when it was, when you got the bug to start trying to break records in Donkey Kong. So to get to this kill screen the fastest time, how much practice do you have to put in to do this?
It's a heavily talked about thing about everyone to get a kill screen in the community. We describe it as a part-time job, at least 20 hours a week minimum that you're putting into it. So on your days off, you're putting 6 hours. On your days that you're working, you're putting 2 hours. I'm here 6+ days a week putting in time. It makes it very difficult for any girlfriend I've had in the past.
Donkey Kong, is your partner at that point. So you are practicing 20 hours a week to get to that point. What is it that's driving you to want to do that, to want to practice Donkey Kong 20 hours a week?
I mean, it's my favorite video game, so I love that. I love the community that surrounds it, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, why does anybody do anything? It's because it's difficult, and if we think we can, we want to. So I mean, that's where that essentially drives from for me to keep trying to get better at Donkey Kong. Everyone always asks, when I got my kill screen, are we ever going to see you again? I'm like, oh, this isn't the end of the road by any means. There's still a higher score, a faster kill screen. There's always something to go on to next.
And that's why that community, the Donkey Kong community, you can read about it online, you see it online, watch people play. Is there a big community like that here in Portland?
There are a few people that I've talked to that definitely kind of participate on some of the online communities. I don't think there's anybody here that really challenges my level at this point. There's definitely people, out throughout the country and the world that definitely are better than me, but in the local area, I mean, I have every high score on this machine, and I don't fear it's going anywhere.
So you're the top. You're top here. Well, for you, talking about, obviously you're #1 here in Portland. You're competing against people worldwide. What would it feel like to bring that title, the top score, the top time for the kill screen here to Portland, Oregon?
I mean, I would just be stoked to get it. I mean, a world record in anything would be awesome. Obviously, the high score means so much more. I'm always going to keep going for that. But due to my limits of being off work, I'm kind of forced to run kill screens at a speed pace. That's the only reason I did it, was because I don't have enough time to take my time. So as a result, I still get to practice it a lot. I get to embrace the different techniques. It's wildly different gameplay, and that makes it fun. It's almost like a second game.
Yeah, and so for anybody out there who is wanting to get into this, is seeing you playing Donkey Kong, wants to try to get into that, what would you recommend for them?
Ooh, get involved in the community. If you get on the Discord or on Twitch and you start streaming yourself, even if you're not very good, better people will watch you and give you tips. It's one of the greatest things. I love the community so much in that is we're all very supportive of each other. It's not like it was back in the days that we all hear about, the King of Kong days, essentially, when that documentary is out. It's very supportive. Everyone wants everyone to do better. Everyone wants their scores to be broken by their friends. So I would say get involved in that community, listen to what the community has to tell you about what they see in your gameplay.
And you're here at Ground Kontrol. This is your home place to practice?
Yeah, and I mean, as long as I'm not in the middle of, a killer run, I'll also tell you what I can, tips-wise on how to, get past the springs or, what you're actually trying to do on the rivet stage.
So don't bother you when you're in the middle of that?
I mean, I prefer not to. I normally have headphones in, so I'm not ever trying to be mean if someone walks up, but if I'm in the middle of a good game, I have to stay focused.
All right. Well, Jake, thank you, very much for talking about this.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is that you're going to be able to break that record? Do you have an anticipated time, or is it just going to happen when it happens?
Ooh, I mean, the first place record is about 11 minutes faster than mine, which is a decent amount of time to shave off. I've got some. Honestly, I do not have a time frame of when that can happen. All I can tell you is I'm not going to stop trying for it. So.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you when you break that record.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Jake.
All right. So big thank you to Jake there for joining us to talk about that and his pursuit there of that record. We'll of course follow along should that record-breaking performance happen. We'll stay up to date. But seriously, thank you to Jake for having us out, and also thank you to Ground Kontrol. So that's what the next part of this is. We actually spoke to Dylan from Ground Kontrol about just the arcade itself, about how long it's been around. We're going to talk about the anniversary of it, and just giving you a showcase of what it is, a staple there of downtown. It's been involved in the community for a long time, and obviously a home for a lot of people for just to go play some games, but whether it's to the level of Jake's pursuits or whether it's just to go down and have a good time. It's a place there that you can certainly do that. So let's go ahead and play that right now.
Dylan, thank you for having us in here, down to Ground Kontrol. And I think obviously a lot of the community is aware of this place and comes down here and supports this place, but how long has Ground Kontrol been down here?
Next month we'll be celebrating 25 years.
25 years, that's amazing. And obviously with all kinds of different gaming that's going on in here, there was an expansion about 7 years ago?
Yeah, a major expansion into the space that we're standing in right now. In 2017, we remodeled the space, moved all our games in, and then about a year later, we reopened the old space, connected the two, and then we were a little more than twice as big as we were before.
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about is just the gaming community in general, but also here in Portland. And you have so many classic games here. And the world of gaming has just expanded by a ton, with online gaming, with consoles, with all of that. What do you think it is about coming to an arcade like this and having a physical game in front of you that keeps people drawn in and keeps them coming back and loving it after all these years?
Yeah, I think it's a few things. Everybody loves the classics. we all have memories of playing them in our childhood, or different parts of our lives. And we can all relate to the simplicity and the challenge of classic games. It's a lot of fun for folks to show newer generations those classics that they grew up on as well. And everyone can understand these classics from the golden era of arcade games, and the way that the games just get progressively more challenging, but they offer a unique experience that's different from a lot of the newer gaming experiences.
Yeah, something that with all those different reasons, could tie into, like you mentioned, memories or something along those lines. And it does seem to be such a big part of Portland as well. The shirt you're wearing is Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is, something that's pretty big here that happens every year, talking about retro gaming and having Ground Kontrol with that. What do you think it is about the city of Portland that embraces it so much?
I think that Portland is a city that really appreciates the arts, and I think it's just physical media is celebrated in Portland. That's why we have places like Hollywood Video still alive, and a lot of people like to go out to movie theaters and go see live music in Portland. So I feel like we fit in as a place that celebrates a classic experience of art and media.
Well, talking about that experience, what is it for somebody who comes in here and isn't trying to break world record, but just stopping by to play some video games? What's the experience you want them to have and walk away with coming down to Ground Kontrol?
We really want people to, ultimately, we just want people to have fun. And we want to provide an authentic classic arcade experience where we're really focused on preserving that experience from the past. So we do our best to maintain our games and use as many original components as possible, and really keep it feeling authentic. We have a team of full-time repair techs that keep the arcade in as good a working order as possible.
Nice. And you have so many different games here. Where do you find all of these?
We have 4 owners, and they've all collected arcade games and pinball machines throughout their lives. So they came together with their collections and really got us a good jump start back in the day. And we've continued to just look out for people selling the games in their garages, or other places that shut down. We have a lot of like CRT monitors that we keep in stock because they're becoming exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
So just a lot of collecting over the years.
And so starting with original collection or somebody's collection that they have, these owners, and then expanding from there. But it's not just classic games that are here. I got to say, you mentioned that this one we're standing right in front of is actually a custom game.
Yeah,
right
this
here.
is a new independently made game by a team of just a couple of people. We like to feature a few games like this because it retains like a classic arcade experience, but it offers something fresh at the same time. So it's kind of that perfect mend, and it's been a fan favorite around here once people have given it a shot with their friends.
Are these designers from here, from Portland?
No, one of them lived here for a while, but they are from other cities.
Yeah, but it's got to mean something though that seeing somebody creating a new game, but creating it in this style and wanting to have it here in Ground Kontrol.
Yeah, I mean, we want to support the independent gaming community, all the indie developers in the city and in other cities. We also do, we host a monthly indie game night where we bring in an independent game, we feature it on our big projector out in our lounge, and let people check it out and play it for free.
Wow, amazing. So getting that experience of somebody who's making something new in the classic arcade on a big screen. Great.
Yeah, we always invite people that are independently developing games to come out and show them off here.
Well, going back to the Donkey Kong side, Jake, we talked about this before, Jake trying to break the record. How many people do you actively have here who are trying to break video game records?
It's hard for us to say. If I see somebody that's really, zoned in on a game, I like to give them space and let them do their thing. One of our employees actually recently broke a record on a more obscure arcade game called Super Hang-On. We have a lot of people here going for big pinball scores. So we have a big pinball community with over 40 pinball machines here. So you never really know who's going to walk through the door, but we welcome anybody who's interested in going for a record, whether it's a world record or a personal record.
All right, so again, big thank you to Dylan there. That was from Ground Kontrol live down there in downtown Portland, and we appreciate them allowing us to come in there and take a look at everything that's going on and find out more about what's happening, including those record pursuits for Donkey Kong that are happening down there at Ground Kontrol Classic Arcade and Bar. Thank you to all of you, too, for joining us here for Fox 12 Now. Again, we cover a wide range of topics on this show, whether it's breaking news we had earlier today. We also talked about hydrogen power, and now we're talking about Donkey Kong and video games. So we have the space and time to do that. And we encourage you, if you are watching live, if you have an idea for a segment, send an email, fox12now@kptv.com. That's fox12now@kptv.com. Let us know if you have a topic that you think should be covered, or maybe it's a deeper dive on something that you've seen on other newscasts where we can get the reporter in here or the investigator and talk about that a little bit more, get you some more information. We have the opportunity to do that. I can't guarantee everything will make a segment for Fox 12 Now, but please feel free to email in and we'll see what we can do. And that's it for right now, but if there's ever breaking news between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., we're here for that as well, outside of our other newscasts, so this is the place to go. KPTV.com, Fox 12 Oregon app. Highly encourage downloading that for your phone or for your television. Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, we're on all of those. And that way you have that right there. You can watch these segments, everything else that we do here with Fox 12 Oregon. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll sign off right now, and hopefully we'll have Jake on soon after he breaks that record. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.